Hey, good morning and welcome to Daybreak on WGRZ Plus. And this is our last Daybreak Plus of 2024.
And it's our fifth WGR Plus of 2024, right?
Exactly.
Our new show that we're very proud of.
Yeah, this is a great chance for us to be able to kind of expound upon things. And
but we do that during Daybreak anyway.
weave our mind meld into things that confuse everyone.
Sometimes it's just a flow of consciousness that comes out.
But this morning we're talking about, obviously, New Year's Eve. And with all the parties and everything going, people getting from point A to point B and down for the ball drop, everyone's going to be looking for this forecast.
Yeah, last year it was cool and we had light snow on New Year's Eve. This time around, you can go over there now.
I'm going to get out of the way so you can see what's behind me. Thank you.
You can see our current numbers, Pete, are in the 30s. We're falling off just a bit. We should warm again into the mid to upper 40s, which means the precipitation that is coming will be in the form of rain. And that's what we're going to see, it looks like, this afternoon. So dry weather currently into the early afternoon through the lunch hour. Light rain develops probably around mid-afternoon, late afternoon, and into tonight. It doesn't look like a soaker, but there will be some rain showers around. Tomorrow morning, likely waking up to some rain showers, but as temperatures cool, it'll mix over to some snow showers, it appears, as we head into the day tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's going to accumulate too much. All right, where is the rain now? Well, there it is, moving through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and it will be here this afternoon. Future Look shows increasing clouds, temperatures mild. We're in the mid to even upper 40s today as the rain arrives. And then tonight we'll see rain showers. You know, maybe during the ball drop we can get a couple hours of dry time, but all in all, the rain risk is there. And then tomorrow morning we see rain showers quickly turning over to some snow showers, and that'll be the case throughout the Wednesday period, New Year's Day. The focus of snow, accumulating snow, will be across the hills. I think for Buffalo, areas near the lake, minimal accumulation. Up in the higher terrain, though, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches of snow through Thursday possible. Farther to the north, as you can see, again, negligible amounts across Buffalo. But as you head into the southern tier in the hills, we could see a couple of inches of snow. So for today, mostly cloudy, afternoon light rain, 46. Tonight, even though the ball drop, we'll see temperatures in the low 40s. By tomorrow morning, we cool off into the 30s with light rain that will mix over to some snow. And then as we go through time, we'll see rain and snow showers Wednesday. Snow showers for Niagara County, Orleans County on Thursday. Mainly dry, it appears, for Buffalo on Thursday. Friday, some of those snow showers coming back. Saturday, too. Dry weather on Sunday. And then some periods of snow potentially. There's a system we're watching for next week that could spread some snow across the area on Monday. Then for the south towns in the southern tier, snow tomorrow. Thursday, a weather impact alert for some areas of heavier snow, mainly in Chautauqua County. That's why it's kind of focused there. Snow showers continue Friday, Saturday, Sunday, still a few lingering snow showers here, and then some widespread light snow on Monday, followed by a delivery of very cold air, Pete, mid to the latter part of next week. A true push of Arctic air is on the way for later next week.
Excellent. So you're talking some fresh powder on the slopes for New Year's skiing.
For New Year's,
bit.
I wouldn't say it's powder. It'll be more kind of a heavier, because it's going to be like in the 30s.
Fresh slush, like
fresh
everyone.
Slush. Yeah. Got it. First tracks in the slush.
Very good. All right, and of course, we're anticipating one of the biggest celebrations of the year as we close out 2024. It's New Year's Eve. Millions will be out celebrating with family, friends, and perhaps even a couple of complete strangers. Who knows? Anything can happen on New Year's Eve. This is video of the annual confetti test in Times Square. 3,000 pounds of confetti will be fluttering around the area as we bring in 2025. NBC's Emily Akeda has more as we get closer to the new year.
In the final countdown to 2025, police are bracing for a tidal wave of tourists from Boston to Atlanta To the center of it all, New York City.
Probably a once-in-a-lifetime thing, right?
And everyone around the world also watches this.
More than 1 million people will flood Times Square to watch the ball drop, already tested and in place. Tonight will cap off the city's second busiest year ever for tourism, according to officials. To secure the area, the NYPD deploying concrete blockades, officers in and out of uniform, K-9 teams, their aviation unit, and drones.
We have been operating in a heightened threat environment since October 7th, and we remain vigilant.
Reinforcing concern over tonight's celebrations is the driver who plowed into a Christmas market in Germany earlier this month. Rebecca Weiner is the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Counterterrorism.
We calibrate our counterterrorism overlay based on lessons we learn from incidents, whether they happen here in our city or elsewhere around the world.
Event organizers also taking precautions in the sky. From New York to Texas to South Carolina, some planned drone shows for tonight have been scrapped.
Oh no, I don't think they're supposed to be falling.
After several drones collided and fell at a holiday event in Orlando earlier this month, injuring a 7-year-old boy. This morning, police encouraging the public to stay alert to help bring in the new year safely.
We really do mean it when we say the public is our strongest force multiplier. People notice things, and if they notice them and they tell an officer or call 911, we're all the stronger for it.
There you go. That was Emily Akita reporting, and you can bet Western New York. Well, we know how to throw a party here, right? There are plenty of local events going on. Party starts as early as 4 o'clock at the Irish Center in South Buffalo. So Big Ditch has also got a party going at 8 o'clock, Rec Room and more. You can find a full list of activities on our website, WGRZ.com. And of course, it'll all lead to this, the annual ball drop at the Electric Tower in downtown Buffalo. This year's test drop is set to happen in less than 30 minutes from now. Now, it was supposed to happen yesterday, but the high winds led to it being postponed. The tradition has been going for nearly 40 years. Buffalo's ball drop is the second largest in New York State.
The city of Buffalo is proud to be the largest supporter of this event, while allocating a number of resources to make sure that everyone coming down here gets in and out of here in a safe manner, has a fantastic night, creates incredible memories with their families, their loved ones, and their friends. We will have members of the Buffalo Police Department, Fire Department, Department of Public Works and Parking stationed at Roosevelt Plaza.
And here's what you need to know. People will start gathering at Roosevelt Plaza about 10 o'clock and hang out until the ball drops at midnight. We're going to have fireworks, music from Will Holton, as well as the Strictly Hip, and a whole lot more. And this year's host, as always, our friend DJ Jixter from 97 Rock.
That's reason alone to go.
Absolutely.
To see and listen to Jixter.
Jixter's a one-man New Year's party for sure. And thousands of people are expected to huddle together downtown for the ball drop. So that means safety is a top priority for Buffalo Police. Officers recently got this new piece of technology. It's a drone. It was purchased using grant funding, and it can go more than 125 feet in the air, and it has an extremely high definition camera with infrared capabilities. Law enforcement says they don't want to leave any stone unturned.
We also have our SWAT team down here. The SWAT team is on the inner perimeter, the outer perimeter, and also overhead watch. We want to make sure that they're looking down on everybody to make sure that we have a safe event. We have the partnership with the Erie County Sheriff's Department and their bomb ordnance group. Any suspicious packages, anything that were to come in, we already have them on site. They're already here that can address anything that may pop up. We have K9 down here. We have explosive detection K9. All of these go into play and to make sure that, again, I keep saying this, that we have a safe event. Our explosive K9 dogs will be down here earlier in the day. They do a pre-sweep, we lock down, we secure the area, and then they are working throughout the entirety of the day as well.
There you go. We want to know how you plan to ring in the new year. Are you going to the ball drop downtown, watching the big moment from home, or possibly going to dinner or a party? Or are you just going to sleep through it all? Let us know by voting in our Channel 2 poll. You can text your answer to the number on your screen, 849-2220, and we can tell you a majority of the responses have been sleep through it all.
Okay, what age did we hit when it went from I'm going all in all night to, you know what, 10:30 bedtime sounds about right. When did that happen?
I'm just going to say
my 30s and 20s were like
so long I don't remember.
Oh my! I feel like this was kind of a night to go out and go for it.
I think kids have a lot to do with that. When you have kids, it's like, you know, going out to ring in the new year in style is kind of a back burner thing.
So when I do a peace out at 10:30 tonight, the family should be understanding and go, okay.
You've got an excuse. You got to be here tomorrow.
And
morning,
I got to be here tomorrow morning,
go.
but didn't stop me
right.
before. But
well, as we ring in the new year, Buffalo Common Council has a number of topics to work out. They're ending the year with some tension amongst council members as well. It's mainly over the use of funds from the American Rescue Plan. Daybreak's Natalie Foss has been closely monitoring the back and forth going on at City Hall, and council members still have a lot to work out. Right, Natalie?
Yeah, guys, today was the deadline for them to finalize exactly what they were going to do with that money, and that's why they called for yesterday's special session. Turns out $2 million was misallocated. With yesterday's 6-1 vote to pass Amendment 7, 4 organizations whose funding was reduced just last week got that money back. $1 million will go to the African American Cultural Center, $500,000 to the Colored Musicians Club, $250,000 will go to the Torn Space Theater, and $100,000 to the Italian Heritage Cultural Center. This last-minute meeting seemed to spark frustration with all of the council members as they worked out the allocations.
Here we are, literally one whole week later, the day before the deadline, and it's that feeling of the failure to plan became an emergency, and I think this is how we end up with the mistake that happened.
We had a meeting last week. You all voted for it. I didn't. And then we had have to have another special session for this part. So this process has been chaos from day one.
The U.S. Office Inspector General for the U.S. Treasury has received complaints about the Buffalo Rescue Plan program. All of the council members confirmed on yesterday night that they are in favor of an investigation. Now, this is obviously a situation that will stretch into the new year, but that's not going to be the only major topic that will get a lot of attention from Common Council members in the coming year. There's also this issue, wind turbines. As we've been reporting, there's a statewide initiative to have 70% of New York's energy be green by the year 2030. This is led to a push to add wind turbines to Lake Erie's shoreline, but Councilmember Joe Gallivan is joining the growing list of people who are against this idea.
Well, I just think it sends a clear message to the powers that be that there are legitimate concerns that cross party lines about these turbines.
The reason some people don't support the turbines stems from a recent study that reveals the turbines come with high costs and environmental uncertainties.
Yeah, there's lubricants that are on the turbines that will drip into the water. I want it to be 100% environmental friendly. I want it to be 100% fishing friendly.
Gallivan tells Two on Your Side he expects this resolution to be voted on next Tuesday in the first council meeting of the new year. This is just one of many topics we're going to continue to follow out of City Hall as we move through 2025. Pete, Patrick.
That's quite a bag of debate you got there. Yes, all right. Thanks very much, Natalie. Yeah, a lot of discussion going on at City Hall to wrap up the old year and head into the new year. Now, each day this year, we've brought you stories that have an impact on Western New York, or at least we've tried to. And right now, we're going to take a look back at some of the more memorable stories. There's nothing wrong with your screen right now. We're going to go to black for a second. Yes, the total solar eclipse that happened back in April lasted about 3.5 minutes here in Western New York. It was pretty cool.
I thought the cloud cover added to the experience. Yes, clear skies would have been preferable, but to get a landscape view from the lakeshore, which I did, and with the clouds, and to see everything just go, you could literally see the march of the shadow of the eclipse cross the lake because of the clouds.
Because we were one of the few downtown areas that the eclipse was crossing, the center of the path. So, and fun fact, the last time it happened in Buffalo, 1925. The next time, I hope you caught this one, because the next time isn't going to happen until 2144.
Yes.
So, also, speaking of memorable weather events, remember this? Buffalo got not only, or Western New York got not one, not two, but 9 tornadoes?
I've got a special friend here, Vincent, and I were talking about this Eden tornado. And this one was an EF2, Pete. The scale goes 0 to 5. So EF2 is actually like 3 on the scale of strength. And this was a big deal. And I remember this day, the warning was issued, and the path took it right towards, it eventually went to East Aurora, and then towards Wales, and then it lifted, and then dropped down again near Darien. But this was pretty significant damage.
It's got to be one of the more powerful
100%
tornadoes that have ever hit Western New York.
Yes, EF2s have happened here sporadically. I don't think we've had anything stronger than that. So yeah, look at that, the roof.
Yeah, and speaking of firsts, first time ever a tornado has hit downtown Buffalo.
That was also a crazy day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily a water spout coming on land. This was a tornado over Ontario.
Right.
And then across the Niagara River.
Across,
and then right into downtown. And it was surreal to see office buildings here locally interacting with a tornado.
And it jaywalked across Niagara Street.
It did.
And there's still damage.
Ticket issued.
That's right. And here's another fact for you. 9 in Western New York is unheard of. 32 tornadoes confirmed across the state.
Pretty prolific for tornadoes. New York gets tornadoes, but 32 is, that's a pretty big year.
Also, this past summer, now this is a story that really hit me emotionally because it's my old neighborhood growing up. The Allentown iconic location, the Pink Flamingo, as we knew it when I was a kid. The old Pink, as a lot of people know it, just went up in smokes. And we were covering it basically live during Daybreak as this was happening. And then we found out on top of everything that it was set on fire on purpose. Now, this is a place that is, a second home, a place. It was a home to every walk of life.
Right.
You'd walk in there and you'd sit down and there'd be a businessman sitting next to a punk rocker with a 3-foot mohawk. And, so many memories went up in smoke on that, this just horrible day in Allentown. And, it's one of the things that you'll never replace, the ambiance.
Was it ambiance?
It's too fancy a word for the ambiance.
That sounds like a pretty nifty word for that. But it had this character. And again, I never got a chance to experience it. You grew up across the street.
Yeah, right around the corner. I remember.
So it was a part of your growing up. And I heard other people too. Chris Parker from WGR Radio was talking about what it was like to close out a night and say, should we go to the Pink? Yeah, let's go to the Pink.
Yeah. Well, usually it was never a conscious decision. It was just, okay, and then you go to town restaurant for breakfast right after that, and then go home in the light of day.
Yeah, right.
When day turned into night and night turned back into day.
Yeah.
And how can we not talk about the most memorable moments that included the Buffalo Bills? All eyes on Josh Allen, waiting now to see if he does get named MVP. He certainly has made a case for that. He's been breaking records that have been set through the NFL throughout the season, but he also had this. So this is a heck of a way to spend your bye week, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's get hitched. This was wonderful. And I love, she brings a lot to Western New York herself.
Yeah.
She's a fan of the Bills. She comes to games. There isn't this overexposure of her fandom.
Right.
But you see her taking pictures with fans, and she fits the role. And congratulations to Josh and to their relationship.
Yeah, Josh obviously fits well into Western New York, and you're right. Haley Steinfeld does as well. So you can continue talking about your favorite moments of 2024, and you probably will right up until about midnight tonight.
Right.
All right. Now, when you're talking about that at midnight tonight, you're going to be greeted with some warmer than normal temperatures.
All right. So here's the deal. We enjoy this mild, if you will, stretch. Okay. Even tonight, not going to be terribly cold, 30s or where we are currently. But true Arctic air is on the way, it looks like, for, I would say, the middle to latter part of next week. So our real winter. Now, December was kind of crazy. We had 3 lake effect snow events, okay? Hefty snows quickly melting off. Buffalo got some, most of it, of course, focused across the South Towns. This area of low pressure will bring us rain later today and into tonight. But cold air is looming for the middle part of the month into the latter part of the month. So maybe winter's worst is still to come. But today, this is winter's mild. It's just gonna rain a little lightly tonight, this afternoon and into tonight. Once again, we'll show you future look to time it out. Here it is, 1:30, still dry, 2 o'clock, maybe 3:34 is when we begin to see some rain showers move through. And then here it is, 12 o'clock, 1, showers nearby. So if you have plans to head downtown or anywhere, just plan on some light rain moving through. Temperatures in the low 40s. Tomorrow starts off with rain and then transitions to snow, it looks like, during the day. Is this a heavy lake effect snow? No, but there will be some accumulations across the Boston Hills and then down into the southern tier. Lighter accumulations, if anything, in Buffalo. I think it's going to be just more falling snow as temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s with very little collecting. There we go. We can see some snow showers, especially Friday, Saturday, dry Sunday, some widespread light snow on Monday. And then for the South Towns and the southern tier, a little more active periods of snow, weather impact alert for Thursday for the southern tier as some lake effect snows become a little heavier. And then it stays kind of cold and a little bit snowy as we head towards Friday, Saturday, maybe even into Sunday, and then some snow, Pete, possible for Monday of next week. And then it's following that system where it gets really cold by the middle and end of next week.
And I think you coined a new catchphrase for Game of Thrones.
What's that?
Winter's worst is still to come.
Winter's worst, yes, looms. I got to do it in that kind of accent. But yeah, I think we've had some active weather. I think we're going to have a lot more coming up this month.
Very good. Also coming up this month, this morning, we are celebrating the show that's taking stage at Shays. Of course, you have less than a week now to catch The Lion King. The last show is this Sunday, but it's also your chance to see a Buffalo native take the stage. 2 on your side's Claudine Ewing introduces us to him.
Oh my goodness.
So good to see you, first of all. I know.
It's been forever.
Gabriel Kroom has come a long way from his days at the Performing Arts School and SUNY Fredonia.
When I graduated from college, that's when Lion King really started to flourish, you know, and I was like, I want to just be in that show. And I didn't know how or when, but it was one of those things where I auditioned for it like 3 or 4 times when I got there, and then I finally got it.
He performed full-time for years in the Broadway production of The Lion King, and his resume boasts many more shows.
Well, I started off as the giraffe on stilts, so I'd never walked on stilts before, but the costumes are so ingenious in how they're built that, you know, there's like handlebars that we hold underneath that you don't see or underneath the costume.
He's now a Universal Swing cast member and covers the male dancer roles.
There's like 2 giraffes, there's a zebra, there's a gazelle, and a birdman.
He's creating the scenery. Kroom excited to perform in his hometown.
This is my first time ever performing in Shays.
His family will be at the shows, including his niece and nephew. They are the kids of his late brother.
My brother, Jonathan Simeon Kroom, was a firefighter here and who passed away in 2009 while he was working. I remember when I first got the show on Broadway, he was like, Gabe, you did it. He lives in you. The arts cannot be dismissed. You know, it's so important in all of our lives.
On your side, Claudine Ewing, Channel 2 News.
And a proud Arts Academy Cavalier there. It's kind of cool to see. You
Where he went.
Well, and Claudine went. More impressively.
Right.
Claudine
Right.
went. Claudine was the queen of performing arts, the queen of 333 Clinton. So.
I love it. I love it.
All right. And there's some chatter among sports fans that we've been talking about today. After we found out the Bills' game plan for Sundays, at least the lineup game plan for the Patriots game, Josh Allen will start the game, but he's only going to play a short period of time. And I know it's raising some eyebrows because Bills have already locked up
let him get he wants the consecutive starts, right?
Exactly. He's up to 114.
Okay,
and
yeah, fine. Snap the ball, hand it off. and then be done.
And then say,
then
okay,
get
Josh,
right.
here's your ball cap.
But
and your
knowing
clipboard.
him, he's going to want to win. He's going to probably say, no, give me the ball so I can run it up the middle and score. You know, I love the passion that he has to say, okay, I don't necessarily need to sit out. I know I should, but I kind of still want to play.
Yeah, and you know what? That passion also strikes the head coach, Sean McDermott.
In Josh's case, one of the things that we know is very, very important to him is his consecutive starts streak, if you will. And it's important to him for a great reason. He wants to be out there with his teammates. And so he will be out there for a very, very short lived amount of time, and then he'll be off.
There you go. You know, and I'm with you. It's if he was 5'8" and 160 pounds, I'd say, yeah, get him out of there. The guy's a beast. He's the biggest guy on the field in most cases.
Right.
So,
however, any injury to him pretty much ends your season. So I get the idea to protect him. But I think this is kind of a stamina record of these consecutive starts that I let's embrace it and let him do it, but then wrap him in bubble wrap him
but
for the rest of the day.
That injury could happen at any point in practice or game. So, you know, it's like buying a sports car and leaving it in the garage because it might get scratched.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, the Sabres are spending New Year's Eve on the road. They're taking on the Dallas Stars. Puck drops tonight at 8 o'clock, and the Sabres are hoping to ride the recent wave of positivity. 3 in a row. They're going for 4 tonight. And the team appears to have turned things around after losing 13 in a row. And, you know, what is the X factor here? Oh, yeah, Rasmus Dahlin got back into the lineup. And, I mean, he was out for most of that losing streak. He was in for the previous winning streak. And, you know, he was named the NHL's second star for the week in that 3-game winning streak. 7 assists and just shoring up the back line. He's a big boost for his teammates for sure.
And tonight is
another level. It's really fun to watch. He's obviously a world-class talent. You know, one of the best defensemen in the league, and he shows it every night. He just, you know, I'm really impressed. You know, I've playing against him. Obviously, you always see his skill and you see his highlights and things like that. But I was really impressed this year to see just how hard he competes, how hard he plays the game, shift in, shift out. You know, every single night he brings it, and it's fun to watch.
Fun to watch for the fans as well. I mean, and you know, you'll remember last week or the week before, during the losing streak, I went down, I covered the Sabres, and I was talking to them about the whole leadership aspect in the room. And I think that may have rubbed some of the players the wrong way because I asked them if they're holding each other accountable and who is that voice. And the one person I asked was Dahlin. I said, so Rasmus, they need some leadership. I mean, it's clear that you need someone on the bench to pick them up, pick up the emotion. Can you be that guy? And
were you maybe the inspiration for this little surge?
Yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that.
But it's true. I mean, it's like, okay, Dahlin's like, Pete, you are a sage.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a muse. This is inspiration.
I said, Rasmus, if you play better defense and you score more goals than the other team, you might win.
You are.
And they said, you know what?
He's
right.
That
guy is right.
Hockey wisdom at its greatest.
No, but I mean, his importance to the team cannot be understated.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that losing streak kind of got in their heads. I think, I kind of felt for the team. Like, you know, it's like we're trying here, but sometimes, you know, just negative begets more negative, and then they kind of turn the corner. This is a nice little winning streak. Tonight's a big opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Washington, or Dallas is a tough team. We've already beaten them this year, or the Sabres have, not we. But
they say winning is a habit.
Right.
Losing is a habit. And, you know, they got to a point where they'd get a lead and the other team would score, and you immediately saw the bench deflate.
Right.
And Rasmus and Lindy Ruff mentioned this. He goes, he's that guy who gets vocal.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's having played on teams with guys like that, it gets you going. All it takes is one guy, and it becomes contagious.
Yeah.
So.
They had that happen a game ago where they were up 4-0, and then all of a sudden the other team came back 4-2, and you're like, oh, here we go again. But then they
Yeah, the whole arena said.
Right.
But luckily, they were able to dispatch Chicago effectively. Right. All right, well, that is it for our finale, 2024 finale here on Daybreak Plus. Thanks for watching.